Today I'm going to install a power steering pump, the radiator, the starter, just put some of the car together just to get parts from laying all over the garage and in the trunk before I start taking more apart. And after I get this pretty much all together, I'll start tearing into the rear. So as you can see, the radiator and the hood latch assembly I just installed. And I haven't hooked the hoses up yet, but the new hoses that I held up actually fit really well, the reproduction hoses. I just kind of held them in place. I'm going to wait to put them on until I get a little more together so I don't have to take them apart. I ordered this rubber, the rubbers that go here. I got to put the transmission cooler lines on after I put that into, and then put the power steering pump on. Maybe I'll put the hoses on after that. And I got to rebuild the carburetor before I put the heater hoses on because of that plate, and it's still taped up. I might work on that today or tomorrow. Our steering pump is installed. I turned the pump by hand and purged about 1.5 quarts of fluid through it. Get the cap on here. And this line here is supposed to be the exact reproduction, and it fits okay. This line here, the return line, wasn't available in reproduction, but that was the one it stated. But the original one came up, so it would have went around and down. But it clears the control arm and clears everything, so I think that'll be fine. All clamped. So hopefully the power steering's set up. I'll get a belt for it, and I'll get an alternator belt too. I'm not gonna use that belt for driving the car. That belt's from 1969, NOS belt. Gave that a good cleaning up. Cleaned the bearing surface up, so I'm going to start assembling the starter motor. These are the biggest pain in the rear, so I put all those springs up high, and then I make sure I put the ones that are supposed to be in the insulated ones, and the ones that aren't in the ones that are not. So I'm just going to pull all these brushes out of the way there. This goes in so that the brushes, let me make sure I get to where the screw holes line up. I got all the brushes in place, and I got the springs kind of up off to the side so the brushes will clear the armature. And I'm going to set the armature in and release the springs. I'll get all the springs where they belong. I soldered that one brush that was messed up. Oops, that brush has come out of the holder. I soldered the leads and taped them up where they're frayed. That gets all the brushes in. Just a little oil in these. You don't need very much. You just want them to kind of move freely. I like to move it around just to distribute what I put on there. All right, let me get this opened up. There's two little slots, and they got to go in these like so. I just got the new parts out. Let me go find them. This clip here, which is secured by this, and I think where this nose cone was hogged out, it allowed this to go too far and come off this, you know, what wasn't over that, and allowed that to come off, and then the drive to hit the flywheel on whatever car that was on, that starter. So let me get this clip on and then put this over it, and it kind of locks it in place. Everything looks good. I put grease in the rear bearing already. Essentially the same grease. It's all like a white lithium base. Don't forget your spring. Sorry, the memory card filled up and I didn't realize it until after I had the whole starter together, but it's pretty cut and dry putting in a couple bolts and putting these covers on. I mean, I just had it on end, put the bolts down in, tighten them up, no big deal. So I'm going to bench test the starter, and if it works, I'm going to install it. And I got the neutral start switch, so today or tomorrow we'll see if we can get the engine cranking with the key, turning the key. Alright, before I put the starter back on the engine, let's see if it works. Alright, I'm going to call that working. I finally took the tape off the intake manifold because I want to see if the motor cranks in the next day or so, and so I thought I would put the gasket I got at the swap meet on, and then the spacer back on, and then I can just set the carburetor on just to kind of keep this stuff out of the manifold. But I just wanted to get that back on, and I think I'll set the carburetor back on just so nothing gets down in there. I gotta rebuild the carburetor in the next couple of days. Alright. I just want to see if it's going to crank over with the remote starter switch, so let's see what happens. Alright, it cranks, so I'll get the neutral start switch in tomorrow and get it cranking with the key. So tomorrow I'm going to see why, I'll get the neutral safety switch in and see. These were the two I jumped to get the engine to crank, and usually the purple one, this one's the one that is energized when you turn the key to start, and this one I thought was the resistor bypass. And when I had this one there, that was clunking as soon as I turned the key on, but it was doing nothing with this. So I think once the neutral safety switch is on, that'll have power, and that relay should energize. And this is the ignition bypass. So hopefully we can get this squared away tomorrow, and then I can start pulling the rear brakes and start looking at what I need to do to the rear suspension to get the exhaust on and stuff, and then I can start, get the gas tank out and get that all painted up and get the exhaust on, and I can get the car moving under its own power, which would be a big help. If it's too cold to paint outside, I can back the car out, save having to cover it all up. So, to spray. So that's kind of why I want to get it going. So like if I'm painting doors and I have to paint in here, I can just back the car out to save getting overspray on everything. Well, if you like my video, hit the like button. If you want to see this cool old Galaxie resurrected and back moving under its own power, subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.